This is Yardbarker's Chris Mueller. NFL players are motivated by a variety of factors. Could be chasing a new contract, championship, looking to step out of the shadow of a higher profile teammate, or simply looking to play better after an off season. Regardless of the motivation, here are the three players with the most to prove in 2020. The first is Houston Texans running back David Johnson. When the Texans traded star wideout DeAndre Hopkins to the Arizona Cardinals, most NFL observers laughed at the trade, feeling it was humorously lopsided in Arizona's favor. The only way that the Texans will be able to save some face in the deal is if Johnson is able to regain his form from 2016, when he led the league in touches as well as yards from scrimmage with 2,118. Ever since then, Johnson's been beset by injuries and a lack of explosiveness. If he can somehow find that 2016 form, he'll give Deshaun Watson a dynamic, multi-purpose weapon out of the backfield. If he doesn't, the trade's going to look even worse, and the Texans' offense is likely going to struggle mightily all season long. The next player with a lot to prove in the 2020 season is Steelers wideout Juju Smith-Schuster. Smith-Schuster's first 2 years were great. He had almost 1,000 yards receiving his rookie year. He followed that up with an 111 catch, 1,426 yard season his second year in the league. Of course, that was all happening with Ben Roethlisberger healthy and Antonio Brown around to command double teams on virtually every play. With Brown having forced a trade to the Raiders before the 2019 season and Roethlisberger having a season-ending elbow injury 6 quarters into the season, Smith-Schuster's stats cratered in a spectacularly awful way. He had just 552 yards receiving, he battled injuries, and what was most striking, he couldn't really make anything out of it when Mason Rudolph and Devlin Hodges were in the game, despite the fact that Deontay Johnson and James Washington were both able to make plays for the Steelers with the backup and third-string quarterback playing. Smith-Schuster is likely not going to be in Pittsburgh after this year, and he'll have to prove to teams that what happened in 2019 was merely a fluke and that he can perform like a number one wide receiver. His next contract depends on it. The last player with a ton to prove in 2020 might surprise you because he's done just about everything that can be done on a football field. It's Tampa Bay quarterback Tom Brady. Of course, he's a 6-time Super Bowl winner. He's the greatest of all time, but there's always been a but with his career. The but being, of course, his connection with Bill Belichick, as observers can't decide who, if either man, is more responsible for New England's run of success. There are plenty of people who back Belichick and say that Brady is a glorified product of that system, albeit a spectacular product of it, while others say that Brady is the only reason that what Belichick tried to do actually worked for so long. Brady's going to have a chance with a ton of weapons, including his old buddy Rob Gronkowski, to prove that he was the engine that drove the Patriots' success for 2 decades. If he's able to do that, he's going to completely separate himself from Belichick. And if he somehow brings a Super Bowl to Tampa Bay, it's going to make him an immortal, if he wasn't one already, of course. So there you have it. 3 players with the most to prove in the 2020 NFL season. For Yardbarker, I'm Chris Mueller.